had Manning alone, but I couldn't finish the job.
Why not?
Why didn't you say you were here in Landview?
You never gave me a chance.
Why are you here?
I think perhaps you need some help. This should have been over by now.
Yeah, well, it would have been if Glennis hadn't interrupted me.
You have to tell the cops you found the syringe.
Why would we call the cops? The nurse didn't think it was a big deal. You guys are all over Uncle Tomas.
Nobody's saying he did anything.
Well, aren't you saying that?
Whoever tried to kill your dad might have come back to finish the job. What if they injected something that would kill him? You okay?
Yeah, Liam's okay too. It's my dad. He had a heart attack.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Considering you hate him almost as much as you hate me.
I never hated him. I certainly didn't want something like this to happen.
I can't lose one more person in my life. I can't.
Marty, what are you getting at?
Natalie didn't have another man's baby. She had John's.
What is this?
Natalie's original paternity test. John McBain is the baby's father.
You told me the paternity test showed it was Brody Lovett. I thought that was the reason John left Natalie.
And I knew John would leave her if he thought the baby was Brody's. What was I supposed to do? Let Natalie and John live happily ever after?
I think we may be blending some incidents, Marty. You took a copy of Natalie's paternity test from the lab.
That's right.
You used it as leverage with Natalie. You said you tortured Natalie by threatening to tell John.
Correct.
You could only do that if the test said Brody Lovett was the father.
It did. Eventually.
Tell me what you did, Marty.
You may want to sit down. I lost! I lost! When Cole went to prison, I lost everything. I lost my son. I just lost the baby that I was supposed to have with John. And I lost John. I lost John to Natalie. And then Natalie, well, they get back together, and then I find out Natalie's pregnant. Natalie's back with John, and she's having the baby that I should have had with him. Her life was perfect. Oh, and gosh, I was so happy for them. Brody, Jessica. But see, then I could tell there's something up with Brody and Natalie, and I figured out that they'd slept together. And then I saw that Natalie had had a paternity test. I promise you, I was just curious at first. I went to the lab when it was closed, even though I rented that little guy that works for Clint Buchanan. I found it, and I printed it out. And there it was. Proof. Picture perfect. Baby was John's. Natalie had everything. Happy ending. She had my life. So my fingers were on the keyboard, and before I even realized it, opened the file, deleted, and replaced. And I was done. No going back.
You changed Natalie's lab results? You altered her medical records?
Yes.
So all this time you tormented Natalie with Brody being the baby's father?
It was a lie. Ah, gosh. That is such a relief to say that out loud.
I'm sure it is. And this next step may be hard, but I'm sure it'll be a relief too.
What's that?
Marty, you're a doctor. You had an obligation not only to your patients, but every patient in this hospital. You have to make this right. You have to tell John and Natalie the truth.
I'm okay. It's okay. Yeah. Sorry, why are you here?
McBain, I was about to call you. What's up, big man? Tell him.
Dani and I were visiting her dad, and we found a syringe on the floor.
But the nurse didn't think it was a big deal.
She said it wasn't the same kind that the hospital uses.
Todd's doctor is checking him out right now. So far, there are no signs that he's been injected.
You were on the door the whole time?
24/7. The only people in that room today were nurses, doctors, and approved visitors.
Anyone besides these two?
Tomas Delgado.
I don't know when I'll have Manning alone like that again.
Perhaps it's time someone else took the job.
Claude, we cannot involve anyone else.
I'm sorry now I encouraged you to follow a beautiful woman. I thought you would find romance. Instead, you stepped into something else altogether.
Forget it. I needed this. This whole business with Manning started with me. It should end with me.
And then what?
What do you mean?
Your sister was married to him. He is important to Mademoiselle Kramer. How will they feel about what you did to Todd?
I can't let Tatum and Blair slow me down.
But I would hate to see you lose either one of them, if they found out.
As a matter of fact, Detective McBain told them I was a suspect in the shooting. True.
What does he have?
Nothing. Found a euro at the crime scene. That could belong to anyone.
That's all? Then you are clear.
He knows someone was injured in the firefight. He thinks it's me.
Do we need to worry about this man?
Well, McBain's pretty sharp. Former FBI. But I covered my tracks. There's nothing for him to find.
Where's the syringe?
The nurse, she threw it in the disposal thing in the room. She wasn't worried about it, and I'm positive my Uncle Tomas has nothing to do with this.
But why was he in such a hurry to leave?
Because he wanted me to have alone time with my dad. You heard him.
Okay. Yeah. I gotta get forensics down here.
Hello? CSI Tech right here.
No.
Look, John, John!
Landview Hospital.
I am feeling useless. I need to work. Besides, the crime scene is already, it's already compromised. Just let me get in there. Sooner the better. Can you guys tell me exactly where you found the syringe?
Down here.
Sure.
Okay, here you go.
What?
Yeah, if he gets fussy, just sing to him. It usually works.
Sing to him?
Yeah, I'll be quick. Let's go.
Wait.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say.
It's the ethical thing to do, and it's the truth. It's the only thing you can live with.
Do you know I actually went to see Natalie when I was released from St. Anne's? I was planning on telling her. I kept trying.
What stopped you?
She did. She and Marty were there together. And they kept acting like I was a monster. Oh my gosh, keep her away from the child. Don't hurt the baby. Call the cops. Call the hospital. I wasn't a danger to anyone. That they could think I would actually hurt a baby. Anyway, they weren't going to listen to what I had to say about what happened, so I decided to tell John. But when I saw him, I just couldn't do it.
I understand. This is a real challenge. But we'll find a way. We'll structure the right situation where you'll be able to explain.
It's not going to be a right situation. I'm fine. Fine with it.
What does that mean?
I can live with what I've done, and so can John and Natalie. John will never know that Liam is his son.
Hey, kid. How you been?
When you finish the job, there will be, what is the word? Fallout. Are you prepared?
Do I have a choice?
Well, there is always a choice.
Not for me, Claude. Have you forgotten what happened?
Never. But you built a life, Tomas. You always had your painting, but now you have family again. And perhaps love.
So what? So what are you saying? You think I should back out now?
Yes.
I wish my dad would just wake up and tell us what happened.
Well, usually forensics is more reliable than an eyewitness, so let's see what we can find here. Is that it?
Looks like it.
Yeah, well, makes sense. It's different than the rest.
Doc says your dad's okay. Nothing new found in your system.
Good. Thank God.
Okay. Can you take this pen and put it exactly where you found the syringe and And make the tip where the needle was, okay?
Okay. Yeah, that looks about right.
All right.
Do you carry a forensics kit with you all the time?
No, but I have a baby, so I always have a camera on me.
What? I don't even know any songs. Well, I might know one, you know. My dad used to sing to me. But I don't want to subject you to that. All right, well, since you're not doing anything and I'm not doing anything, I guess I could try. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers are dying. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so.
You have a professional obligation to tell the parties involved the truth.
Yeah, you know, I used to think that too, but things look a lot different from this side of the desk.
So what happens next, Marty? You don't tell John he has a son. Natalie never knows her baby's real father. And what?
Everybody's happy.
Do you believe that?
Come on, I've seen Natalie with Brody. She seems to have settled in quite nicely, and Brody wanted a child, and now he has one.
And John?
He's free! Which is obviously what he wanted. Come on, if he'd really loved Natalie, he would have stuck it out and figured it out. He would have made it work, but he didn't.
He felt Natalie had lied to him.
She did! She did lie to him. She didn't tell him that she'd slept with Brody and that the child wasn't his.
But that baby was
She
his.
didn't know that. She thought she was lying, and she was going to do that for the rest of her life.
And now you are too? I'm worried about you, Marty.
Don't be worried about me.
I mean, if you're just playing out possible scenarios, I understand. That's how we get to the right place in the end. But you sound like you've made up your mind.
Do you know how John and Natalie got back together? She wrote him a letter telling him that she loved him. This was right after I miscarried our child together. Okay? I was still trying to recover, and so was John, and we were still together. And do you think that mattered to Natalie? When I read that letter, and yes, I read it, I was gonna keep it from her.
But you did.
No, I didn't. I handed it over, and I handed over John, and I'm not making that mistake again.
And you keep John's son away from him. What about that baby?
Brody's a wonderful father.
These are rationalizations, Marty. They don't justify what you're doing. We need to find a way for you to tell these people the truth.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
If you don't do it, I will.
No, you won't.